Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Open Heaven, dated the 22nd of November 2020. I pray and hope all are doing great and keeping safe. This morning, Open Heaven topic is God's direction, how sensible. God's direction, how sensible. The memory verse is taken from Isaiah 55, verses 8, and it says, For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Lord. The Bible reading is taken from Judges 7 from 1 to 15. Here beginneth. Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Herod, so that the hosts of the Midianites were on the north side of them, but the hill of the Moriah in the valley. And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, My own hand hath saved me. Now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, Whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there return of the people 20 and 2,000, and there remain 10,000. And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people are yet too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, This shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee, and of whosoever I say unto thee, This shall not go with thee, the same shall not go. 5. So he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, Every one that has lapped of the water with his tongue, as a dog lapped, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, every one that bowed down on his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, were 300 men, but all the rest of the people bowed down on their knees to drink water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, By the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites unto thine hand, and let all the other people go every man unto his place. 8. So the people took victuals in their hands and their trumpets, and he sent all the rest of Israel, every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men, and the host of Midianites was beneath them in the valley. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Purah thy servant down to the host, and thou shalt hear what they say. And afterwards shall thine hand be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then went he down with Purah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like grasshopper for multitude, and their camels were without number, as the sand by the seaside, for multitude. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, Behold, I dream a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it that is fell, and overturned it that the tent lay along. And this fellow answered and said, This is nothing else save the sword of Gideon the son of Joash, a man of Israel, for into his hand hath God delivered Midian and all the hosts. 15. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned into the host of Israel, and said, Arise, for the Lord hath delivered unto your hand the host of the Midian. The message. God's direction may not always make sense to us, because as humans, we are too short-sighted to see what he does and too dull to think, as seen in Isaiah 55, 8-9. Gideon experienced the seeming illogicality of God's direction firsthand. He thought he has been mistaken for someone else when the angel of God called him a man of valor. Gideon was cowardly, but God had decided to use him to lead his people to victory over the army. Even when Gideon eventually accepted to lead the Israelites in battle, God still went ahead to prune his army of 32,000 soldiers down to just 300. 300 men against an army? Although it looked like it is an impossible mission, at the end of the day, Gideon was victorious. No matter how unreasonable an instruction from God may be, as long as it is from Him, it is surely end in victory. And no matter how unreasonable an instruction from God may be, as long as it comes from Him, it will surely end in victory. Isaiah 30:21 says, "And thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. When he turned to the right hand, and when he turned to the left." We were preparing for a crusade in Benin many years ago. Everything had been said when I thought to talk to God about it. He told me we should go to Ed instead. We had just concluded a crusade in Lisha, very close to Ed, and so I felt that anyone who wanted to go from Ed should have been at the crusade. However, since I have learned never to disobey God, I told my people, God said we are going to Ed. We went to Ed when it was time for the monarch of the town to greet the people during the crusade. He said he did not have money but offered us land in any quantity we desired. After the crusade, I called my people together and we decided to ask for 50 acres of land. That seems like a lot, but when I went back to ask God, He said we should ask for 500 acres. This did not make sense at all, because the developed part of Ed was not that large, but I asked anyway. We got the land, and today the mission school of RCCG as well as the Redeemers University are sited on that land. The key point, the prayer point. Even if His instruction does not make sense, just trust Him and obey Him. So even if His instruction does not make sense, just trust Him and obey Him. So even God's instruction at times doesn't make sense, we ought to trust Him, lean not to our own understanding, but put all our trust in God. I pray that you have been blessed with the reading of the word of the Lord. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed day. Enjoy. Bye.